Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Here we are, there is another prepping video. Today I needed to go somewhere and there was a Lidl nearby, so I always use an opportunity to go and pick up some bits to basically stockpile in my cupboard. First of all guys, I just wanted to let you know that the prepping is basically, it's a kind of way of life, do you know what I mean? I think you either prepper or you're not. To be fair, I've been preparing for quite a while. I think it started way before Brexit, and it's generally just started with sort of having your own preserves. You know, we have our own garden, we're growing stuff, and I basically always like to be prepared for God knows whatever brings. As we all know, for the past few years things have changed a lot and things are about to change even more very soon. So it's nothing, basically for me, nothing likes being prepared. So I know many of you who probably have been preparing or started preparing, but I know at the same time there's many people that haven't started but potentially thinking and want to start prepping. If you have seen my original video, that's basically there I tell you the main key things that I choose to stock in my cupboard for a rainy day. Today, as I said, I went to Lidl and I spent £92, and I just wanted to basically go through the products with you, let you know the prices, and actually tell you that if you think that you can't afford to prep, you're wrong, because there's still things out there in the supermarkets that are very affordable to be able to sort of stockpile. And I am gonna be using this word because it's just what's keep coming out. It's stockpiling, but it's preparing. So there's many things out there that you can afford to buy and put in your cupboard. Second of all, guys, this is not just before people start sort of criticizing the food is here. This is not what I feed my family on a daily basis. We have a freezer, we eat healthily, we eat fruit and vegetables. It's nothing wrong with eating this food, but this is basically just a staple things that I keep in my pantry just in case I can't get certain fresh foods. As I said, it's nothing wrong with you guys if you eat a lot of pasta, eat sauces, and eat tinned meat. It's absolutely fine. It's whatever is affordable to you. And the last but not least, I just want to let you know that again, this is something that I do once a month, and I go out and buy a few bits as a bulk thing, and then I do my little weekly shops, and then I buy occasional things to top up to my cupboard. Again, this is just a selection. I already have a good stockpile of products and a good variety, but this is what I chose to basically get today, and something that I think will be probably helpful for you to get started. So without further ado, I'll start from here. Lidl, right? I bought a penne pasta. At the moment, if you're lucky, we live in a small village and things are different and the stock availability is quite different. So Lidl, where we live, it's hit and miss whether you get the cheap prices or not, or a lower value end product. So I managed to pick up some penne pasta. They're half a kilo. They are currently 32p, which is a really good comparison to, say, Asda yellow sticker price. I bought some tin tomatoes, and I must say, guys, the Lidl tin tomatoes are far superior. I've tried all the tin tomatoes. I'm a big fan. I cook a lot of pasta, and I found the Lidl tin tomatoes are far superior to any other tin tomatoes. Unfortunately, with them, I couldn't pick up today range of tomatoes. They normally have some herbs and spices, they have some with onion, they have some with garlic. At the moment they didn't have any, so I just bought basically a box of 12 of normal chopped tomatoes. They have a little pull cord, which is absolutely brilliant, and it's costed 38p. If you wanted the flavoured version, I think they're like 40p, so it's not a lot of difference, but it's a huge difference in taste. One of the other things I was really happy to find, again, tinned meats, right? We all need to stock up on tinned meats because the meat that is going to go in the price the most. I've had some meatballs, and I bought some Frey Bentos ones, and I think they're about £1 a can if you're likely to find them. I found in Lidl, guys, 59p a tin of meatballs. We have one in gravy and you have one in a tomato sauce. 59p for something that's got meat content. That's pretty good. And although they are chicken meatballs, it's got 77% chicken. Well, you all know what parts of chicken it may include. However, it's still far better than some things that are on the market. So something to look out for. I bought 12. I bought 6 of each. Right, next thing. Again, because I already have extensive pantry, I have about 50 or 60 kilos worth of pasta. I know for sure that I was a little bit short on sauces. Tins are great because you can just pour a tin of tomatoes and pasta fine, but you do need to add on some herbs and spices to make it a little bit more palatable. I realized that I didn't have quite as many of the different sauces, so I've bought a few extra jars. So Lidl do their own tomato and herb little jars, 440 grams. I bought a couple of them and they were 39p a jar. They are quite okay, they're a little bit sort of runny, but still a very, very good value. And again, very comparable to other supermarkets. They also do, which is one of my favorite ones, is they do the bolognese sauce, they do the mushroom sauce, they do different ones today. Again, I can only find a basic one. They are still 69p. They are 500 grams, so they're a little bit more. And again, it's so simple. You just boil some pasta, you chuck this on the top, and it's a very good value for money, especially if I then can keep the jar for preserving it for jams later on. Right, next thing I bought is few of the chili con carne sauces. Again, they were 75p, so they're a little bit more. I'm not sure why, because there's no meat in them whatsoever. They 500 grams jars. They already have got what's the vegetables in them, but it's so easy to bulk it up if there's vegetables around. Put some meat in it, put some beans, and you have a nice, good, hearty meal. So I bought a few of them. Right, next thing I did mention in my previous video is having the basically fruit and you stock up pile. I haven't got a lot of fruit, and I've been trying different fruits in the jar, and I found a lot of them are just not particularly palatable, not to me anyway. The two of the main things I found that I prefer is having a pineapple and tinned peaches, because they hold their shape. You can still do like a pineapple upside down cake. You can do obviously the peach upside down cake, if do you know what I mean? Basically, you can do a lot with them, and they are far more palatable to me. Anyway, so the tin of peaches was £1.49 for a big one, so which is quite good. And the pineapple slices were 95p for, again, it's 567 grams. It's bigger than average for 95p than you buy in Asda or Tesco's. I have then picked up some of the pickled gherkins. I love pickles. I normally pickle my own. However, this year, because we had quite a strong heat wave, all my cucumbers I died off, so I couldn't basically pickle anything, so I had to buy some. I've got about 3 jars currently stored, so I bought another 3. They're 95p at the moment, which is still a very, very good price for a 670 grams jar, so it's a very good value at the moment. They haven't changed in price, so if you do like them, I do suggest you buy some. Right, this thing is not a necessity by far, but this is little children's juices. My little girl absolutely loves them. We tried them anywhere else and she just doesn't like them. She prefers the little ones. They're £1.35 for 6 200ml. And again, they've got a long date enough on them, but they don't last us. Again, this is not like a pantry necessity, but like with any pantry, guys, you got to stock what works for you and what your family eats or drinks. Right, milk. Semi-skimmed milk. 75p in Lidl currently, if you can get it, which is still very good. It's a 1 litre, it's a very competitive price, and it actually tastes very good. So again, date on this is May, so we do have quite a bit. So don't forget to rotate your stock if you do have it. So basically, next time you take one from the end and you put the fresh one. Sorry, take one from the front and then put the longer date at the back, so you always know the shorter dates at the front of your pantry. As I always said, of course, can't go without my olive oil. Every time I go in, I buy 3. There's a limit in Lidl, and still only Lidl for 3 olive oil. The price for litre is £3.69. It's still stable in Lidl at the moment, but I did say in Asda and everywhere else, you're looking at £5.75 for a litre. So it's still a very good price. So every time you go, and every time I go, I always buy 3 bottles, and this is the one I stuck with. It's very good and still very affordable to be able to buy a few. Cool. Right, next thing I bought, again, this is not a necessity, but I'll cover this in a different video, guys. Sweet stuff, sweet things that you have, something that's close to your heart. Things are tough is something you should always have in your cupboard. Lidl chocolate spread used to be 99p for 400 grams. It's now £1.25. However, I haven't had any in my cupboard, so I bought myself 3 jars just to put away for my little girl. Right, again, you'll be laughing at this, right? This is the whole grain mustard. It's 49p a jar. I'm always up for saying always have the condiments and spices at hand, because you'd be surprised, right? If there's no potatoes and you have to do one of those instant mashed potatoes, you'd be surprised and you'd be very grateful when you put a little spoon of that into your mashed potatoes. They're going to make a world of difference to your flavour. Right, tuna. Tuna in Lidl is £2 £2.29. Oh no, sorry, £2.59 for 4, which is still a very, very good price. I know they did sometimes a big box, which was even cheaper when you buy in bulk, but at the moment, £2.59 for 4, it's very good. I probably have about 40 cans of tuna, but again, every time I pop in there, I'll buy it because I know at some point that tuna is going to be almost £1 a little can. So stock up whilst you can. Olives, little jars of olives, they were 65 pence. It's 340 grams in there. Again, this is only for if you like to make pasta, something to add on to. You don't have to add on meat, you could just add on a couple of olives, nice flavor, and still very cheap to have. Don't forget, again, because obviously majority of olives come from like Spain, so if there's any issues, as we know, I'm sure there will be, you won't be paying 65p, I'm sure you'll be paying £1 plus. The same thing, I've got a sweet pickle, that for sandwiches. Again, this stuff lasts indefinitely, pretty much so in your cupboard. So something, always basically have a couple of those if you like it. Baked beans, people always say you have to have baked beans in your cupboard, and I absolutely agree. This is something I don't have a lot of. I don't know why. I have a lot of different beans to make my chili con carnes and everything else. Beans are great because you can eat them cold. Currently, the Lidl only had like 4 tins left of the smart price ones, and they are 22p a tin. The next best thing was, I think it was a Heinz, and there's like £2 something for 4 of them. So I only bought 2. I didn't want to literally clear the shelf because I need some, but I don't really need them that much right now anyway. So I bought that. Right, stuffing mixes, guys, sorry. They are currently 39p in Lidl. I always buy them. They are actually amazing. Whether you use them as a stuffing bowls to stuff in your meat, or I have done a tray bake recipe where I used a stuffing and I made stuffing bowls and made a vegetarian bake, and that was very, very good. It's like, we are talking when the things are really, really tough, and if there's no meat or you don't want to eat your reserves of that, you'd be surprised with the proper seasoning. You can actually make a nice vegetarian meal that it's quite bulky with stuffing. And 39p, that's a good couple of portions for 2 people, easy. Right, I bought some butter. This has nothing to do with the stocking up. They did the clover, 1 kilo, £3.99. I do apologise, it's not a butter, it's a spread. But nonetheless, I'm happy with that and something that I need. I'm just going to migrate the sides, excuse me. Right, next thing, right, rice. The staple of any prepper pantry. I know people are raving, I said, about the Asda's like yellow, the new range of smart prices. However, their stuff is not that cheap. It's actually Lidl rice for 1 kilo is 45 pence if you like enough to get it on the shelf. Asda rice currently is 49p a kilo if you can get it on the shelf that cheap. The next available price is £1.20 a kilo. So if you're in Lidl, you can see a rice at 45p a kilo. Strongly suggest you buy it. I will go through later, guys, how I keep rice, because keeping the rice long term in those kind of bags is not ideal. But that's a subject for another video. So yeah, 45p a kilo, it's very, very good. Right. Not a necessity, but they have cookies, and this is the part in my store cupboard that I'm lacking. I'm lacking sweet stuff because I don't particularly like it, but it's very important to have, because one of those cookies in a cup of tea when the things are really tough might just like literally make your day. So it's always important to have some. They last a long time. They could go stale, but again, if you rotate the stock, it's not a problem. And they do their like Maryland lookalike cookies at 44p a pack, which is very, very good. So I got about 6 packs there. And I spotted some Aero chocolates. They're 90 gram bars, but nonetheless, they're 89p. I just picked up a couple just to put them in my cupboard. Right, next thing, guys, we have some sweet corn. Sorry. They have a lot of sweet corn. There's different options there, different brands. They do mini jars, which I like to buy, but they also do the bigger ones. They're 47p for a bigger jar. You have a pull cord, which is absolutely perfect. Sweet corn is great, guys, because you can do so much with it. Because it's already hydrated, you don't need to worry about doing anything with it. You can eat it cold. And basically, we have chickens as well. Chickens love sweet corn. So this is not only just basically for us, but it's also, if things are really tough, our chickens can have a bit of a fun and a bit of a snack with a healthy sweet corn. Next things we have is soups. Always said to you guys, soups, you can eat them also cold. It's absolutely no problem at all. I strongly suggest not to buy Heinz soups, because sometimes they're like almost £1.50 a jar, which is absolutely ridiculous. I've tried all of the like supermarket owned soups. I tried Asda, tried Tesco's, tried Morrison's and Lidl, and the Lidl are by far are the winner of the taste versus price. 45p currently on the deal, they're normally 49p. If you think that could be your meal, then I think it's absolute bargain. And again, they last well, this one is August 2024, but tins do last indefinitely if you keep them properly. Right, I've got also, I'm not going to pick them up, but I've got some tin spaghetti. Apparently our little girl likes a little bit sort of spaghetti thing, and they're 35 pence, which is, I think, is okay. To be fair, I think you far better maybe have a soup instead for this, almost for the same money, because spaghetti is just, you know, but here we are. It's something I wanted to have because I don't have any in my cupboard. I have a couple of tins, and there we are. Right, pesto, mentioned that before, it's the best thing, for me it's the best thing. It's got oil in there, it's got nuts, it's got greenery, it's one of the healthiest tinned things that you can have for your pasta. Pesto has been going up in price a lot. When I was stocking up before, the tin of pesto from Lidl used to be 60 pence. They've gone up then to, well, now 90 pence, but then there's now dropped to 85p. I don't know why, and that's the first price drop I've seen for ages. However, 85p for a jar of pesto, a little bit of pasta, and I said your meal is done. Absolutely love them. I have about 20 tins, I think. Again, it sounds like a lot, but to be fair, it's not a lot. Right, and then I also have a couple of little breakfast cereals. It's something that, again, I need to work on, is having some dry foods that are, you can just open up your long life milk and have a bowl of cereal if there's no electricity, if you don't want to cook, if you can't cook, whatever reasons are. It's basically a quick snack food that I need to have, and I need to work on this because I do not have, I literally have some porridge, but you have to cook that, and this is the only two things I have to put for breakfast. So yeah, here we are. They are £1.25 each, which I don't think is the cheapest. You can buy more budgety things there, but they were in the boxes. I like the way they looked. They're gonna go in the cupboard nicely, and here we are. Mince pies, there's nothing to do with stockpiling because my husband liked mince pies. I just got some mince pies, and they're like £1.05 or something for a pack. And of course there's it's my tipple of choice for today. I just couldn't resist them. Again, it's nothing to do with the stockpiling or the stockpiling alcohol. It's another video, and honestly, like, you do, because do you remember during the COVID times, and it's not, I know it's not close to anyone, but because we live in a rural area, and we live actually in Wales, and a quite rural area, they've forbid people to buy non-essential items in the supermarkets. I don't know if, like, people in England, I think some places have closed the aisles, so you couldn't buy certain stuff apart from food. And at some point, I think we thought they're going to close alcohol aisle because it is non-essential. Well, non-essential for some, but quite essential for others. So anyway, again, this is a subject for another video. So the moral of the story, guys, I think I've covered everything pretty much. Yeah, the moral of the story, oh, honey, I forgot honey. £1.49 for honey. Honey is a good alternative to sugar. Anyway, yeah, the moral of the story, guys, you can stock up cheap enough. I appreciate not everybody's got £100 to go and blow and buy yourself like kilos and kilos of pasta and sauces and everything else. But if you just narrow this down and you buy yourself, say, buy 4 packs of rice, like £2, couple of packs of pasta, another £2, a lot of sauces, and your family will be sorted for a couple of weeks. Yes, of course, it's not going to be the most, flavoursome and healthiest meal, but you can ration this if you're really desperate. Because where the things, as I understand things are going, and why I want to prepare so badly, because during the COVID we all experienced, in this country where we live, that we weren't allowed to buy any more than 3 of each item. So if you had a big family, your 3 tins of tomatoes, yes, so 3 bags of pasta might be a-okay to make yourself a couple of meals. However, 3 tins of tomatoes is not really going to make you a meal for a large family. So, and there was many restrictions on all of the food when you only can buy 3 items each. And that created in somewhat a panic. So going forwards, because we already have restrictions on oil, and God knows if things get worse towards the end of the year and the spring next year, well, I'm pretty sure we'll be eating by, we'll be told what we not afford to buy, we'll be told what we can buy. And I wouldn't be surprised, to be fair, if we're going to have a little token. You come there with a little token and say, this is your allowed amount of food for the week. And this is what I'm trying to avoid. I like to be comfortable in life. I like the finer things in life, and I don't like to go without. So if God help me, I have an option to be able to buy and make my life just that a little bit easier when things get that much harder, then I'm all for it. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up if you like this kind of videos. Click the little notification bell, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye bye.